This is the Thoughtful Travel Podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Kendall of the notaballerina.com travel blog. Every episode I'll share travel tales from several fellow travel lovers, and together we hope to entertain and inspire you, remind you of some of your own great travel experiences, and encourage you to hit the road again soon. Hello and welcome to episode 202 of the Thoughtful Travel Podcast. It's a bit of a special and different episode because I got to travel somewhere. Obviously, in these COVID times, my travels have been, very much curtailed, and our state border here in Western Australia remains very firmly closed. So although I see friends in some parts of the world starting to travel more, and visiting other countries, that's definitely not on the cards down here for, I think, a very long time. But fortunately, with no COVID cases in the community in Western Australia, we can travel around our state safely and happily. And so on that note, my friend Di invited me to explore Australia's Golden Outback with her recently. So it's a part of Western Australia, about 4 to 5 hours drive north of Perth and a little bit inland. And we decided on our trip to record a kind of a daily diary of our 3-day trip. And that's what this episode consists of today. So without further ado, I will let Di and I tell you about our trip to Australia's Golden Outback to see the wildflowers. All right, day one?
Day one.
Okay, so we started in Perth about 9:30 and we headed north. And we thought we were heading to the Outback, which is inland, right?
Correct.
And then we came around the corner.
I was driving. You were navigating.
Well, to be fair, your GPS was navigating mostly.
Well, I had said I'd put it in the GPS.
This is correct.
But that we wanted to follow this route on the map I passed you. That one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
Just setting the scene.
Yeah. I remember that map, but it was a bit hard to follow.
Yeah, it wasn't a very detailed map.
And then suddenly we came over a hill and we saw...
Ocean.
The ocean.
It's like, so we come over the hill and I'm like, oh, ocean. And it's like, aren't we? Oh, no. So then we just discovered that we'd, in fact, missed probably two turn-offs, but we'd missed a major turn-off and ended up, following the coast all the way from Perth up to nearly Dongara.
Yeah.
And then from there, we cut inland into wildflower country. But, we were following the Wildflower Way, which is an itinerary on Australia's Golden Outback website and the Wildflowers Western Australia website.
And it was beautiful.
It was.
So I think our route was perfect. We got some nice ocean views and then we hit wildflower country.
We did.
Well, firstly, we hit canola country.
Canola country. You were very excited about fields of yellow canola, which are beautiful.
They are beautiful. It might not be wildflowers, but
they're not wild.
It is... No.
They're farmed.
Yes, they're very farmed, which is why they're so huge. But their yellow colour is so yellow.
It's fluorescent, isn't it?
It's amazing. When you see this vast field of it, it's amazing. Yeah. So we've got lots of pictures of those.
Yes.
But then we hit Mingenew. And we knew we were on the right track.
Correct.
And we're in Australia's Golden Outback by
Correct.
then? Yes. So I'm getting the hang of all this area. And so we knew then we could turn a little bit north and head to Coalseam Conservation Park. And we went to Coalseam for lunch.
We did, yeah. And in Coalseam we saw the fields of everlastings.
Yeah.
Pink and white. What else did we see?
Well, we went to Irwin Lookout. That's right. Where we could see, there's cliffs, and because it's like a coal seam, they tried to mine coal there and there wasn't much, and so they gave up.
Yes.
But that's how it became Coalseam National Park.
Mm-hmm.
So then we left Coalseam and kept going east and headed to Morawa.
Yes. Morawa.
Stopping a few times along the way because every time we saw amazing wildflowers, we'd stop the car!
Oh, look, there's something little and blue on the side of the road.
Stop!
Yeah.
We'd take pictures.
Correct.
We have lots of pictures.
We have a lot.
And I chatted to some people at the Morawa Visitor Centre while Di fueled the car, and I met an interesting lady who has moved here from Portugal. I think she's been here 3 or 4 years and is still getting used to being in the middle of nowhere. And we left Morawa, saw more flowers, and ended up at Melbourne Station.
Which is where we are right now.
This is a beautiful spot.
It is. We are sitting on the little porch of our luxury cabin and we're looking out over our fire pit. We've got a fire going and a big log that's still alight. And what have we got here?
We're getting ready for a beautiful sunset.
Yes.
We're going to have a night by the fire, I think.
Yeah, a few wines, night by the fire. Let's hope tomorrow we don't get lost. It was a good lost, though. It was
a very good lost. Now, you may have heard Di was a little bit critical of my navigational abilities, but I would like to point out that statistically speaking, some of the very most popular episodes of the Thoughtful Travel podcast have been about getting lost. So I know you guys like to hear about getting lost stories, so maybe that's why I did it. Who knows? In any case, we had a great first day, and you might now like to hear about our second day. So here is our instalment from day 2 of our wildflower trip. Day two of our trip to see the wildflowers here in Western Australia. I got up first.
Yeah, really early.
I'm used to getting up early. I have a 10-year-old. And I saw that it was light and I thought, oh, it's really sunny and tomorrow it might not be sunny because the forecast wasn't great. So I got up. I did think about rolling over and going back to sleep because it was really cold in the night, hey?
Freezing.
Yeah, that's the desert for you, I suppose. So I got up early and I wandered all around Melonby Station here. It's great. There's lots to see, and I found the donkeys. I'd seen them on the website before and met the donkeys. Actually, once you came along, we got to feed the donkeys.
Yeah. It should be said that last night we stayed up quite late. We have a fire pit in front of our cabin, and so we collected firewood when we got home yesterday from the properties. Lots of really dried, old, sort of dead trees. There's been drought here for a long time. So we collected firewood, lit our fire pit, sat around the fire drinking red wine and talking very intelligent conversations, solving the world's problems.
Yes. Toasting marshmallows.
Oh, yeah,
they were good.
They were really
good. We've got some more for tonight.
Yeah, and then so it was quite like 11 o'clock or so, quite a late.
It was late-ish night.
Yeah, so to get up early for you, I think was well done.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't want to regret missing out, and it was beautiful. And I got to meet the donkeys and the goats and just wander while there was really no one else around. And it's just, like, it's so vast. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
But then we came, had breakfast, and hit the road.
Yep. Oh, we did feed the donkeys. We saw the goats getting fed as well.
Yes, that's right. Sandy and Danny, the goats.
2 goats, Sandy and Danny, and 3 donkeys.
And then we hit the road, and Shelley, who's the owner here at Melonby, had told us that just 5 kilometres down the road we would find some wreath flowers. And they are amazing.
Yeah, they grow. They're kind of like start off as a green circular patch of kind of fine little fringe frondy type leaves, but they're flat and they grow round and they grow bigger and bigger, and as they grow bigger, flowers form on the outside, and they look like a wreath, which is why they're called the wreath flower, and they're totally natural, a West Australian wildflower. So
they're amazing.
They are amazing. So we were quite excited that there was one quite close to Melonby Station,
and there was one that is actually kind of a wrong wreath flower. It's a heart-shaped one.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cute.
Yeah, romantic wreath flower.
Yeah. So that was that was exciting. And then we headed off down kind of a gravel road, headed northish, but we had a bit of an obstacle.
Yes, it was about, I don't know, it looked like 20,000 sheep.
But I mean, 100.
Oh, easy.
Like, could have been 200 sheep blocking the road ahead of us.
Yeah, with a little farmer on a sort of quad bike that we passed, and he made no attempt whatsoever to tell us to stop, slow down, or what to do. He just kind of looked, watched us drive, and we just stopped in front of the sheep. There was a 4-wheel drive on the other side of the sheep, obviously the other farmer.
We didn't really know what to do.
We just sat there watching them try to move the sheep. And anyway, I ended up reversing back for a bit. The quad bike farmer came up to us and I said, what do you want us to do?
Help.
And he's like, we're going to get the sheep on this side of the road, and then, that car's going to drive through, and when he drives through, you just follow the path he made.
It didn't work. The sheep filled in that path very quickly.
They did.
But then he drove back and we followed him through, and it was okay.
Yeah,
so
it was fine.
We got past the sheep.
Yes.
But it was nice. We got some good pictures, I tell you.
Yeah. There's a kelpie on the back going crazy at the sheep.
It was so Aussie.
It was.
That's what I like about being out here. It's very, very Aussie.
Yeah, a real Australian scene for sure.
It really was. And then we headed to Bilya Rock, which is famous because maybe, but probably not, quite unlikely, John Forrest, who was long ago Premier of Western Australia and a big explorer.
WA's first Premier.
WA's first Premier, in fact. Long ago, probably didn't, but maybe... Possibly, but never proven that he was actually anywhere near this spot. Came along, built this cairn of rocks and
What's a cairn of rocks? Explain what that is.
It's like a pyramid, really, of lots of little rocks.
It's a
built
big
together.
pile of rocks in a triangle shape.
Yes,
A pyramid doesn't look as good as a pyramid. It's just a big pile of rocks
fair call.
in a pyramid shape.
And apparently older people in the area remember that there used to be a piece of wood with his name in it on the top of it, something like that. It got eaten by termites.
So the wood disappeared that apparently, allegedly, maybe, but they're not sure, had John Forrest's name written on it. So... yeah.
So this place is famous for a very, very dubious reason. But it was actually really beautiful. So we could, walk up this big rock area, beautiful views over the farms.
It was a big granite outcrop, wasn't it?
Yes,
yes. So yeah, we had massive granite rock all underneath our feet. And then through that, there was red dirt and some shrubs and wildflowers. What did we see?
There was lots of good wildflowers there. There was fringed lilies, which I knew from before, one of the only ones I can identify.
Yeah. So they're sort of little and dark purple.
Yeah.
And the petals they're kind of fringed, like furry almost.
Yeah, they're really amazing. Nature is amazing.
It is.
Lots of everlastings, white and pink ones there, I think.
Yep.
Wattle, that long, elongated yellow wattle.
Yeah, bright yellow.
It's really cool. All sorts there. It was well worth the stop, even though the history behind it was a little bit not maybe substantiated. Anyway, we continued on from there to Canna, and Canna was cool. So Canna actually has like this general store which closed in 2003. But they still provide information there, including like an updated little piece of paper that you can take away so you can find where the wildflowers are at the moment. Yep,
so they leave a clipboard out the front with some updated wildflower spotting that you're just free to pick up and take. And at the front of the general store is some interesting memorabilia, country art, rustic art. There's an old car with a bonnet filled with dirt and flowers growing out of it. There's some sort of iron sculpture things.
It's hard to describe.
Yeah, it's very sort of, old wagon wheels sort of things. Anyway.
It was cute.
Cute. And then we took a little walk through the park there.
Behind the Lutheran church.
Yeah, a Lutheran church in the middle. Weird. But
anyway.
Apparently, allegedly, there was a big Lutheran community in Canna back in the day. Yeah. Yeah.
But the park was lovely and lots of orchid spotting there.
Yes.
And orchids are hard to spot generally. So how lovely that there was this path there. And we spotted the donkey orchids are my favourite because they have donkey ears. Mm-hmm. But they were really pretty.
Yellow, aren't they? Bright yellow.
Yeah,
Very little though.
Yes, you've got to keep an eye. That's why it's so handy there. You can actually find them quite easily. They know they're there, and I thought that was nice. And then we were looking for the extra wreath flowers.
Yeah, apparently there were some more wreath flowers.
Well, we did find them eventually.
Yes.
The instructions were a bit, maybe they were right. Anyway, we found them, but they didn't have the flowers yet, so they're still growing. But we now recognise that green colour and that kind of soft growth that they have. So hopefully we'll find some more wreath flowers tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I really want to see some more. And then we came back to Melonby to the station and we collected firewood. From where I sit here, I can see a diminishing pile of firewood because our fire goes through it really fast. But
the wood's so dry, it just burns so quick. But it's so nice. We have a fire pit. We're sitting on our porch overlooking, the station, which is how big, Shelley told us?
250,000 acres.
250,000 acres. It goes 15 kilometres one way and 40 kilometres another way.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure it's bigger than some countries in Europe.
Oh, well, it would be much bigger than Liechtenstein, surely.
Liechtenstein, yeah.
Oh, we'll look it up and check. But
bigger than the Vatican.
Definitely bigger than the Vatican.
That is counted as a country.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right. So, and we're going to enjoy some wine and cheese soon and enjoy our fire pit, I think.
Yeah.
There is a movie showing in the big shed later tonight.
We should talk about the shed.
Oh, the shed. Tell us about the shed, Di.
All right, so there's this big... So at Melonby Station, there's the cabins, which we're staying in a luxury cabin. Then there's also facilities to bring a caravan or camp and tent, and stay here. And they've also got shearers' quarters, which are a bit dorm-like accommodation, very basic. But they've got a camp kitchen, a communal kitchen with facilities that you can use to cook food. But they've also got an entertainment area in this big old kind of barn, I think. And
it's got everything.
We walked in, there's a stage, there's a full band set up with drum kit and instruments, a chandelier, sofas, dartboards, what do you call
Table tennis table.
A bucking bull. Yes. Like a rodeo bucking bull.
And that crazy coffee table that's got like a man underneath it.
Yeah, a sculpture of a man sitting down with his akuba on and a glass top, like a coffee table. It freaked us out when we walked in because we thought it was an actual person.
Scary.
And then,
but it's really, it's got everything. They've got games and all sorts of stuff there. And they're showing a movie there tonight.
Yeah, a movie of, I don't know.
It's got
3 murders
in
and the Depression, and we've decided that we're going to...
We don't need the murders and the Depression.
We're going to just...
I think we're going to sit by our fire with some wine and cheese.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed to another great day out in the West Aussie Outback. Now, a couple of fact-checking things. We suggested that Melonby Station, where we were staying with its 250,000 acres, was bigger than Liechtenstein. It is. It's 6 times bigger than Liechtenstein. So that's kind of crazy, isn't it? So if I had to convert the acres, it turns out that's about 1,000 square kilometres. So double the size of Andorra, 6 times the size of Liechtenstein. So there you go. Fun fact for the day. I also learnt really important stuff here. After recording, I learnt that the donkeys that we met are named Banjo, Dusty and Morris. So there you go. Now, just to finish off this episode, we have our final day, our day 3 of our wildflower experience in Western Australia. It is day 3.
Day 3.
Of our wildflower jaunt, and we are in the car on the way home, which is a bit sad.
And we're in the car because it's like minus 45 outside and raining.
Okay, for sake of reality, It's probably about between 10 and 15 degrees, and it is raining, that's true.
And there's a nice chill factor.
Okay, it feels like 5.
It does, it's really cold.
It is really cold.
So it's raining, it was really cold. We're in the car, so didn't want to miss our day 3 instalment of our epic road trip to wildflower country. So today, what's happened?
Well, before we get today, I have to mention something that we forgot to mention the last 2 days, because it was quite lovely. When we first arrived at Melonby Station, a kangaroo greeted us.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Hopping along.
Yeah.
And then yesterday...
In front of the car.
It hopped across in front of the car.
A long way in front of the car. And we were going slow. It was very safe.
Not a dangerous situation. No. And then he hopped along and he posed for pictures nicely. And then yesterday, as we were leaving Melonby for the day, we saw 2 kangaroos hopping along in the bush next to us, not endangering us, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And so I thought today, being day 3, we'd see 3 kangaroos. How many did we see?
None.
It's very disappointing. Anyway, instead of that, we did get to see a beautiful sunrise.
We did, indeed. Yes, it was stunning, wasn't it?
Oh, amazing. There will be photos in the show notes, as they say, because it was just beautiful. And after that sunrise, I enjoyed a fabulous Di breakfast. Excellent chef work there, Di.
Thank you very much. Yep, my pleasure.
And it rained a lot overnight, but then we actually got a bit of spot of sunshine. We enjoyed some bit of chill out time on our veranda there at Melonby before we had to say goodbye.
Yeah, nice cup of tea on the sunny veranda. And the rain saw us go to bed a bit early last night because our campfire got rained on. And we did.
So did we.
Yeah, we did cook a marshmallow still in the last of the campfire before the rain completely forced us inside.
But it was good to get a good solid night's sleep ready for our drive home. So as we left Melonby Station, we came across, we bumped into Shelley, the owner, who was taking a couple of guests out somewhere, and we discovered the somewhere was actually really close, and it was the scene of, how many? Maybe 8 or 9 or more wreath flowers really close to Melonby Station, which we didn't manage to find yesterday. I don't know how.
We drove past these things 5 times and we haven't seen them. And then when we saw Shelley pull over, we were like, what is going on here? So we followed and discovered, much to our delight, the elusive wreath flower, which is quite rare, and because of the rainfall and other factors in wildflower country where we are, there haven't been very many sightings of wreath flowers. So people are quite excited to see, they get excited to see wreath flowers anyway, but more so this year because there's not as many as what there usually are. So, and
beautiful.
We got quite excited this morning. Someone more excited than someone else, but
I get excited easily. So we took some pictures and they were beautiful. But then we continued on. So basically today is all about heading home, but via the easternmost part of kind of the wildflower route.
The way we were meant to go to Melonby Station.
Yes, if you remember back in day 1.
And someone missed the call for the turn or whatever, and we ended up along the ocean instead of being inland. So we're coming home this way now, and
it's lovely. But we went through Morawa, refuelled.
Yes.
And other than that, kept going. We had lunch in Perenjori.
Not Perenjori.
It's not Perenjori, it's Perenjori.
Perenjori.
We've learnt. But that was a super cute town.
Yeah, lots of like rusted old farm equipment and
It's
machinery.
an outdoor museum and stuff.
Yeah.
And they have all these sculptures everywhere. It was really a really creative little spot. It was, it was really
flowers,
cute.
a community garden that you could pick fresh herbs or veg. Yeah, it was nice.
It was
wasn't
really, yes.
Yeah,
Thumbs
cute
up
town.
for Perenjori.
Good lunch stop. Well, we had our own lunch. I don't think there was anywhere to buy.
Don't think so.
Anyway,
On
yeah.
Sunday,
Nice
it seems
place to
like
stop.
nothing's open anywhere here on Sundays. But anyway, and then we had a quick stop at Woburn because to us that's
Woburn.
hilarious.
Amanda's son is called Reuben, so to stop in a town called Woburn, yeah, we've been giggling about it for 3
I know,
days.
don't get me started again. Anyway, I think we managed to make a nice video for Reuben in Woburn. So
Actually, somebody else made the video because someone was laughing too much. But
that's a problem I have sometimes, yes. And then from Woburn we came down here to Dalwallinu, and the brochure says that the locals call it Dally. We should have asked the lady in the tourist centre if that's true or just a rumour, but anyway.
And hot tip, tourist centre closes at 2:30 on a Sunday, saying.
I feel like we were lucky to find it open at all, but Dalwallinu is the end of the wildflower route. This is kind of the end of our trip as such, and we've just got to cruise back to Perth.
That's it. So we're about to, last stop in wildflower country and homebound. But it's been 3 long days, but great days. Melonby Station was
fabulous.
a really lovely place to stay.
Oh, and just the big views across
The stars.
the Outback. Oh, and the stars. Oh, so many stars.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. So, yeah. And it's been a good trip. So, thanks, Di.
Thanks, Amanda. Signing off.
Signing off.
Well, of course, that was the end of our wonderful trip into wildflower country here in Western Australia. A massive thanks, Di, for being an excellent travel companion. As you can probably hear, we had an awful lot of fun on our trip. Lots and lots of laughs, and it was just brilliant to get out of the city as well. So, thank you very much for listening to episode 202 of the Thoughtful Travel podcast. I have a few useful links after you've listened to that. First of all, a big thanks again to Di, and I want to point you to her website, Traveletto, which is at traveletto.com. Also, a couple of relevant links if you want to know more about the region. First of all, there's the Australia's Golden Outback site at australiasgoldenoutback.com. In the show notes, I'll leave a link specifically to their information about the wildflower region of WA as well. And also a link to Melonby Station, where we stayed. It's a fabulous place, and that's at melonby.com.au. Of course, don't forget to come and join the Thoughtful Travellers group if you're not with us already. Lots of interesting chats there. We are at facebook.com/groups/Thoughtful Travellers, or just search for Thoughtful Travellers in Facebook. And all of these links, and of course some pictures, because we can't talk about this wildflower experience and not show some pictures. So all of that and more will be in the show notes. For this episode, the show notes are at notaballerina.com/202. As always, thank you very much for listening. This has been another episode of the Thoughtful Travel Podcast. Show notes and other information are at notaballerina.com/podcast. Join me again soon for another chat about why we travel. Bye for now.